What's up, Laker Nation, and welcome into episode 26 of the LakeShow Flow. I'm Geo with my co-host Joe.
What's up, y'all?
So tonight we got, a special episode here with the play-in tournament starting tonight, or actually started last night, but the Lakers, for us, it started tonight. And we got a crazy win. I mean, Joe wanted a game going into this.
I did.
I wanted a dominant win, but this was exciting. This one had my heart beating. I was scared. I couldn't even drink my drinks right. I was just... How'd you feel going in?
I was never scared. I mean, I always had faith, I feel like with us, I don't know, sometimes it takes us a while to get in games, but I feel like with us, I just have so much faith that we just have too much talent on the floor to not come up clutch. And with them, Curry's always going to be like crazy to guard. Curry went off tonight. Like Curry had like a Curry game. And like before tonight, they were talking about it on ESPN too, that he's actually played horrible against the Lakers ever since LeBron came to LA. So this was like a vintage.
Yeah, it's a combination of LeBron being on the team, but also the system built around our defense, and that's credit to Vogel.
Yeah.
Which, despite missing all of our stars for different periods of the season, we're still the number one defense in the league, and this is just adapting. Like you notice, like. He did still keep scoring, like, throughout the game, but it wasn't as easy, like down the stretch, he couldn't, I felt like we're forcing other people to step up.
Yeah.
And it really helped because those traps were setting.
I feel like with him though, he was just making crazy shots. You can't defend crazy shots. I feel like if it was like him just getting spot up threes, and that's a whole different story, but you gotta live with him taking crazy shots. And if he makes them, makes them. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But I feel like what kept him in the game, sure, Curry went off, but they're role players. I feel like they had just a crazy shooting night where everything was going right at one point, and for us, everything was going wrong.
Yeah, they even like layups that they were making, like N1s, and just I felt like I knew it was gonna end eventually, but sometimes teams just have these games where they just can't miss. Things go their way. We've seen this before with the Warriors in general. They took out the number one seed a long time ago. Teams go off sometimes and they surprise, teams that should beat them.
Yeah.
And as you said, we have the talent, but it took a while. We had Schroder, LeBron, and AD. They just couldn't buy a bucket for like the first almost 3 quarters, like it felt like. But
I feel like with them though, I mean, you got to think about it too. AD missed like half the season. LeBron missed like a good chunk of the season. Schroder's been like in and out with COVID protocol and all this stuff, and like
here's the thing with Schroder, like I don't know, I question, like I've been seeing reports that he's unhappy in his role and whatnot, but he's out there a lot. and he doesn't like his decision making. I trust Caruso more than him right now with decision making. I trust obviously LeBron and THT sometimes. I mean, THT's cleaned it up a little bit, but like I'm just talking like, foreshadowing. Obviously, he's going to be with us for the rest of this playoff run.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it throughout, these podcasts for the year. Like, I don't mind letting Schroder walk. Like, he's asking for so much money, and he can't shoot the three. Like,
not consistent.
Not consistently. He
doesn't finish at the basket consistently enough. He just overall doesn't score consistently enough. Like, I feel like it sucks too because he's so fast that he could probably get by a lot of people, and just if he was crafty enough to finish at the rim or just strong enough.
I think it's his lack of strength. Like he has the speed of a Westbrook, but not the body. Like Westbrook, he has speed, but he's built his body enough to take punishment and to finish like through contact.
He go up and dunk on people. Yeah. I don't think Schroder even dunks, but I feel like with this game, I feel like it was a good game though, because I feel like it almost got us ready for the actual playoffs and got us like in a mindset. I feel like it felt like such a playoff game.
Yeah.
I feel like it almost in a sense made us flip that switch and like, okay, the playoffs are here.
Yeah.
There's no time to just like ease into it. They're here,
Yeah, it definitely felt like a real legit like Game 7 type of game.
Yeah.
And I told you too, I was like, you know what? Because I know before the game I was saying I want to blow out, just to show we're ready.
Yeah.
But this, this might show that we're not that we were ready before the game, but it might have, like you said, got us ready for, because we're going to have some battles during the playoffs. Like these teams are hungry. No matter what, if we're not on our A game, the Suns could take us out. Any team could take us out if we're not on our A game, as you almost saw today. So in a 7-game series, I think we got, most of the West. I think the only team that could really give us trouble, defensively, Utah, and they've been like the top shooting team too, which is crazy. And then also obviously the Clippers. Even though I don't believe in them, I just there's something about they got a curse, man. Like
I don't believe in the Clippers either. Like it's just I feel like the Clippers, they're gonna be tough. I'm not gonna downplay it, but I feel like when it matters most, they just fall apart and we shine. And as far as Utah, it's Utah.
They're unproven. They're unproven.
Utah is one of those systems that I feel like they do things right. They're blue collar, but it's like it's that kind of play just doesn't get it done no more. Yeah, I feel like they have nothing spicy. Like
I feel like
nothing.
I've seen this book. I read this book before. When they had Boozer, Karolinko, Darren Williams, like they had a solid squad. They had a good system. But they're just not. They didn't have any players to take them to the next level. Yeah. And as much as Shaq says some crazy stuff, if we want to talk a little about it, I think he's right a little bit about Donovan Mitchell. Like Mitchell's gonna be one of those players that he's probably a number 2 on a championship team, if that. He might not even be a number 2. And don't get me wrong, like I love his game. Like he does some crazy, highlights, but he's not a player to take you over the top. And then Gobert, he's limited offensively. He's defensively, he's a beast. But I just don't see them two as like.
I feel like the thing with Mitchell, he's so good offensively. But the thing that screws him over is that defensively, he's undersized. I feel like if you're going to be the man on a team and be the best player on a team, you've got to be able to affect both sides of the ball. Unless you're like Steph Curry, because Steph Curry can't play defense, but he's so crazy offensively that it's okay. You just deal with it, So I feel like with them, you got Mitchell, who defensively is a liability. Gobert, he can only guard so much, There's 2 centers on our team, basically.
Yeah.
He can only guard one of them, which is probably going to be Drummond, But I feel like...
I'm okay with, forcing him to lock down Drummond. Because as we see, maybe down the stretch, Drummond will start to step up offensively, but he's a rebounder on our team.
We might even in that series, I could see us maybe if Vogel wants to try to do it,
finally give him Gasol.
Play Marc Gasol because it forces Gobert to come out of the paint because Anthony Davis is playing on a 3-point line and Marc Gasol is capable of shooting.
But they might just keep Gobert, like follow AD in the inside. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm saying, but AD's on the outside. He has to come out.
You're saying keep him out?
Yeah, he has to come out. Like, almost like play with no center in the post in that series.
Yeah.
Just have everyone outside. Make Gobert
and it'll limit
come out.
his rebounds because he's not inside.
Make Gobert come out. And if he doesn't come out, then that just leaves shooters because that leaves someone down.
But don't get us wrong. We're not looking past our next matchup, which is the Phoenix Suns, which starts Sunday. Here's the thing about the Suns. I feel like obviously their ceiling got a little higher when they got Chris Paul. Credit to Chris Paul is a game changer. Like, no matter where he goes, he's competitive. You saw last year with the OKC, almost got to the finals and beat the Warriors a few years ago with Houston. James Harden wasn't the difference in that. Chris Paul was the difference. But it's still not. I just don't see it as enough. Like,
I feel like when it comes to the people that win championships every year, there's just few outliers that win it, but a majority of the time, every team has that transcendent player. Yeah, that leads them, right? And as good as Chris Paul is, he's not transcendent. And as good as Devin Booker is, I think he's still
we're still a little
bit raw and still a little bit young, and we still haven't seen if he's gonna become transcendent because he's almost like if you have to break down the tiers in the NBA. There's your tier 1 where you have like your main guys, LeBron, Giannis, AD, people like that, Luka, and you have your next tier, and I think that's where Devin Booker falls in. Yep. Where you have him, Bradley Beal,
Donovan Mitchell,
like all these other guys are really good, like 2s for teams, but they're not number 1s yet. Yeah,
it's like they have 3 1Bs on their team.
Yeah,
which
with Ayton,
Chris Paul, Ayton, Booker. None of those players are gonna, I'd put Curry above all of them too, just because the attention he brings. We're not gonna I picture this series. I think we could win it in 5 games. Yeah, I really do, and. Because I just feel like we're not like this game was sweaty, and it would be sweaty for a series to play Curry because he just like I told you every time we got close, I'm like Curry's gonna hit a 3, we're down by freaking 9 again, 10 again, 11, they don't have a player that's gonna stress us out in that
No.
nature. Like as good as Devin Booker, Chris Paul is shooting wise,
Yeah.
they're not Curry. Nobody's Curry.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean Booker's gonna have his games. We're not trying to say Booker's just not gonna have his games because he's gonna have his games, and it's gonna be tough. But like I said, they don't have transcendent talent, and it's just that's what you need to win championships.
this season was just so weird that as good as the season is that the Suns have, like this is almost like the seed should be switched. Like if all our guys were healthy, we probably would have been number 2 in a regular.
Number
And,
2 or 1.
yeah, and they could have been 6 or 7. You know what I mean? If they had to deal with the same adversity as we had to. So I'm not too worried about the matchup. I think it was let's talk about that LeBron Whitaker, LeBlind. That's what people are calling it. That 3,
Whitaker.
holy, like I don't know if it's a dramatic.
James.
Forrest James.
Whatever you want to call him.
So LeBron gets poked in the eye, as if you saw the game. He took a drive. Draymond poked him in the eye. Got some eye drops from our trainer, and then comes like crazy. The ball gets tipped out to him with like no time on the shot clock. He throws it up in Curry's face. Insane, like 30 something foot shot.
Yeah, it's probably one of the like crazier moments I think from like the last like few years or the last like even probably decade I can remember. It's like one of the craziest like at least Laker moments, not NBA but Laker moments. Because
we had we got to give AD that buzzer beater last year.
Yeah.
But in terms of how far
feel
it
like
was,
this one meant more though because was that even like I think that was just it was a playoff game, but I don't think it was like an elimination game.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
So I feel like the pressure was more on with this shot than that shot,
Yeah, true.
And it's LeBron. LeBron's not a 3-point shooter, so that makes it. And he kind of faded his shot,
And the thing is, when he does, it's weird. It's like
his shot's weird.
When he makes threes, though, they're usually pretty far.
Yeah.
So I guess it helped that he had that muscle memory. Yeah. Apparently, he said it. I was gonna say, I don't think it was as dramatic as he said, but he said he saw 3 rims out there.
Yeah, I don't think it was that dramatic, but I mean, it is what it is. But it was, the ending too. It was kind of nerve wracking too because they were down by 3, and 2 seconds left. And as long as you have Curry on the other end, I feel like you always have a shot. So
yeah, luckily we're in the bonus, or they were in the bonus. So I was telling you like we should just foul them, make them shoot free throws, and they got a second to foul us, and then we play the free throw game.
Yeah.
But we played good defense to pretty much didn't let Curry get past half court. So
they didn't even get a shot pretty much. They forced a turnover, and we win the game pretty much. But I feel like the unsung heroes of these series, this game at least,
Caruso
and Kuzma, and even Wesley came in and kind of did a few good things here and there. But I feel like Caruso and Kuzma kind of kept us afloat for a little bit there.
Because when we were down by double digits, like we were only down by less than 20 because Caruso was scoring like 12 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And so Caruso and then his defense, like that dude, like. Mark Jackson was saying, and then I said after, I was like, he's right. Caruso needs to be on Curry.
Yeah.
First, like the next possession after Curry hit a crazy shot on Dennis, he forces it. Yeah.
That tip still pretty much.
Yeah.
But,
so
those guys need to keep going if we're gonna keep going further. KCP, I feel like needs to be better. He needs to have a better game.
I feel like he starts hesitating, and he doesn't let himself get in a rhythm because he hit 2 threes in a row.
I feel like we overpass. That's our problem. We overpass the ball. Everyone's trying to make the right pass. Sometimes you just got to shoot the ball, And I wonder with the games coming up, will we see more THT? Will we see Mark? Will we see even Trez didn't play that much?
We could have used Mark this game.
Yeah. Ben.
Malcolm. No.
Will we see him? Markieff Morris. I mean, there's a lot of guys that usually play that didn't play at all tonight. So
let's put it this way. I feel like with Vogel, the thing I do know about him from last year's bubble playoff run, he will make adjustments even if, we have to drop the first game for him to see it. Like this reminded me of, the first game that we lost to the Blazers last year, to the Rockets. We're like begging, like, why don't you put this guy in? Why don't you put that guy in? At least we know he learns from his mistakes. Even if he's stubborn the first game, now it's the time where we're going to see it more. Like we have 7 games to make our adjustments to get the win. So as we said, Sunday, the real playoffs start. Yeah. And as much as we, we're not trying to make it seem like we're discrediting the Suns, but as much as they're a threat, or as much as we say they're not as much of a threat as the Warriors because they don't have that crazy transcendent star, we still got to be careful. We still got to be on our A game. Hopefully LeBron can see by then, and we'll go from there. But we do want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode. We know we've been really quiet, but playoffs are here, and luckily Joe's off Sunday. I'm off Sunday. We'll be right back for another episode. We got Diego right here. Shout out to Diego. Thank you for
Lakers in 4.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
So Lakers in 4. Let us know what you think the series is gonna go. And as we said, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe to us on Twitter at LakeShow Flow, and we'll see you in the next one.
Be safe, Lake Nation.